Hello everyone, Killer here, and welcome to another Minecraft Dalek Mod video. Today we are in Minecraft 1.12.2 with the Dalek Mod Update 61, the latest version as of the time of this recording. And as you can see, I am back with another video about the image loader. So about a year ago, or a little over that, I made my first video about the image loader, and I went over a lot of the basics, what its primary purpose is, what it does, and all of that. So this second video is going to be building on top of what I talked about in the first. So if you have not seen my first video already, that will be the first link in the video description below. Will take you to that video so that you can get caught up, because everything I will be mentioning in this video is going to be building on top of what I've already discussed in that one. Alright, with that out of the way, let's get started. So once again, the image loader is this block in Minecraft that essentially, once you take it out of the inventory and you place it down, of course it gives you something untextured. Now, as we went over in the first video, if you rename the image loader block, you can get different pictures based on the name that you named the block to. And I had a whole list of the entire cache online of everything that you could name the image loader to in-game in the Dalek Mod. That was all uploaded to an online server. So you might be asking, how did I get these images? These are not on that website inside of that link, and in fact these are custom images. So one thing I did not know you could do with the image loader, but some people in the comments were nice enough to let me know, was you can actually put your own custom images into Minecraft with the image loader in the Dalek Mod. As you can see, that is what I've done here. So this is extremely cool, and let me show you how it's done. We are going to exit Minecraft, and I'm going to take us out here. Now you can see my new Windows computer with the generic desktop and everything, but I am in my .minecraft folder. You can see it's an app data roaming.minecraft. So I'm going to go ahead and open up my mods folder now, and inside of your mods folder, if you play the Dalek Mod, you will have this Dalek Mod folder already installed. I'm going to go ahead and open this, and within that we got a few files here. This is where, for instance, you can put in your regeneration skins. There's a few other things here. For the entity manipulator, it stores its data in there. So this is where the Dalek Mod kind of keeps all the background stuff for certain items within the game, and that includes the image loader. So if we go in here, this is the cache folder. I'm going to go ahead and open this up. As you can see, some of those images that we had in-game with the image loader are in here in this folder. So pretty much all I did was, for instance, for this is a cover of the Asia album, so I'm going to go ahead and enlarge that. But pretty much what I did is I grabbed this off the internet, and then I resized it. I sized it something down to Minecraft proportions. So this is going to be a 1-to-1 ratio as far as the pixels are concerned. So if I resize this image to 16 by 16 pixels, that would make this image exactly the size of one block. I've done that with this here, actually. This is another album cover for the EOO album, A New World Record. This is 16 by 16 pixels. So I just resized it. I sized it down. I did that in GIMP, which is a photo manipulation software. Let me go back into Minecraft. And as you can see, I have it right here. It is 16 by 16 pixels, which means it is exactly the size of a single block in Minecraft. So if I didn't resize that down, let's say this image was originally about 500 by 500 pixels, that would make this block, or this image, absolutely enormous. So this would cover, I don't know, 500 would definitely be over 30 blocks in either direction. Let's see, is that right? Yeah, roughly about that. So 30 blocks either way, give or take a few. So that would be absolutely enormous. So my recommendation, if you're putting custom images into the game, size them down, and remember that each block is 16 by 16 pixels. So 16 by 16 is going to give you an image the size of a single block. This one was a little bit larger, as you can see, and the image loader automatically will update and center the image based on what you resize it to. So as you can see, this one is a little bit larger, and it just goes off to the ends of the block out the other side and down to the bottom a little bit. So it will automatically adjust for the image's size. You don't have to worry about that. And again, just keeping it something small. That one was 16 by 16, but within a few blocks makes a lot of sense. So I've also got a few of these images here. These are covers of the comic book Starblades, indie comic by Kyle Ritter. So I've got these in here as well, just to show what it can do. These are a little bit more oblong, so it's a bit longer, taller than it is wide, and of course it works just as well with that. So another thing I want to talk about with the cache folder is, as you can see, this doesn't have a lot in it, but I do have this. This is one of the online images of this 911, or this 911 I should say, little poster. This was something on the website. So that was something I grabbed by renaming the image loader in game in an anvil and placing the block down. What happened is this image automatically downloaded into my cache folder, and it will stay there permanently now, which means I believe you can now load this image when you are offline. When you're online, you can call anything in that link that was in the previous video. I'll also have that link in this video's description so that you can see what the images are online, and you can go ahead and download these by merely renaming the image loader to that in the game while you are connected to the internet, and it should work permanently now, even when you're offline, because it will automatically download that file into your cache folder, and then you can go ahead and load that in-game whenever you want. So if your cache folder is empty, the reason for that is because you haven't used the image loader or applied any of the online images into your game yet, so therefore it's not been downloaded into your cache folder. Okay, so that, and if you have any custom images, again, I recommend resizing them down. This one's, here we go, 64 by 64 pixels. This one's 16 by 16, or saying 32 by 32. That doesn't make sense. That has to be, I don't know what Windows is trying to tell me here. Anyway, size them down to something in scale in Minecraft. They'll be pretty pixelated, but so is everything in Minecraft. And so you put those in your cache folder, and they will load up right in game. Just name the image loader block to the exact same name as the file that you named in the cache folder. That is case specific and everything. So let me take this Starblades Ghost Tiger cover. I'll go back in game. I will take an image loader and rename that to what we saw. So again, case specific, capital S, capital G, capital T. I'll go ahead and rename that. And then if I set it down, there you go, I have the cover for Starblades. Now, if I go ahead and not get that case specific, for instance, I change the T to a lowercase t, that is not going to work. It is going to work. This is non-case specific? I would have swore, okay guys, it is not case specific. Forget everything I just said. I'm gonna go ahead and lowercase it all. Wow, it is not case, okay, never mind guys. Don't listen to me. It is not case specific, therefore you don't have to worry about getting capitalization correct. Wow, I honestly thought it would be case specific. I jumped to assumptions there. That's what I get for not for not doing my research before making a video. Okay. Moving on. So as you can see from the intro here, you can also put animated videos in game, and this is, yes, using the image loader block. So this is really cool, and this was something I could not figure out. If you watch my first video, I knew that there was a movie feature on there, but I did not know how it worked. I just knew it would jump over sections of the image going left to right, top to bottom, but I could not figure out what it was used for. Well, 1WTC, creator of the Dalek Mod, was kind enough to give me a command, and with that I've actually been able to learn how this feature works. So this is the command that he gave me, and it creates the music video for the song Something by the Beatles in the game. So this is something that's really cool to do. This is an actual entire music video, a few minutes in length, and we can get that in-game in Minecraft. It's a bit pixelated because it's Minecraft, but the entire video is here and it works. So let's take a look at the raw file for that to get an idea of how this will actually work in-game and how we run the command to actually give us that nice picture of John Lennon right there. So here we are back in the cache folder, and included in the cache folder is a folder called secret. This is going to have a couple of different files downloaded into it. So this should be in there, and as you can see, we have a whole bunch of different frames. These are individual video frames for the movie. This file is absolutely gigantic, and each frame is set down one after the other in here. I could not imagine anybody doing this by hand, so there must be some fancy software that you can use to get this, but I don't know what that is. So this is an enormous file, and it puts every single frame in here. And how it plays the video is it slowly, one frame at a time, moves over, left to right, top to bottom, all the way across. And then we just plays the entire video and then loops back around to the start. This is an enormous file. Let me go back into game and show you just how big that file is. I'm going to go back into the anvil, rename this image loader back into the name something. So it's somthing, so the E is missing. Not sure why. And let me show you just how big this is. Let me go outside. Go over here and let's set this down. That didn't work. Oh, I know why that didn't work. Let me go ahead, Let me use the blockdata command and rename it this way. I don't know if this works in the Anvil, but I do know how this works. So image underscore name, img underscore name, is how you can name an image through the blockdata command. And I'm going to go ahead and I have to run a directory in here. This is not in the cache folder, this is in a folder called secret. So this will default to the cache folder. If I want to select any other folder in there, I have to give that folder name, which is why I'm putting secret in there. I'm going to put a slash to let the game know that that is within a folder. And then I'm going to give this the name something right there. That should give us what I want. Yes, there we go. And you can see just how enormous this file is, which is why I'm saying resize your images before you put them in that cache folder, otherwise they could wind up being this big. So this is enormous. As you can see, each frame is absolutely gigantic, and there's a lot of frames in this video. So that creates this gigantic image. So that is the full-size image, but we only want to select each frame at a time within this image. So it's only going to be about as big as one of these frames. So that's what we have to run with the command. I'm going to go back in here, and we'll get started on how that works. So one more thing, if you do not have this something video/file within your cache folder, by default within that secret folder inside the cache folder, what you want to do is just do what I did there. Run this blockdata command on one of the image loader blocks, and that will automatically download that file into your cache. I tested that. I believe that works. Let me know if it doesn't. But otherwise, that should download it from online into your cache, just like it does with everything else with the image loader. Alright, so what we need to do now is run the command that will give us this correctly. Let me grab another image loader out of the inventory here. That gives me a blank image loader item. I'm going to go ahead and set this down. Let me get rid of my logo here. I'm going to go and set that down right there. And we have to run a command to get that video to work. So the first thing, of course, is giving it that image name so that we can grab the correct image. So that is something within the secret folder. Again, if that is not in your cache already, merely run this blockdata command over an image loader block, and that should download it into your cache folder. Next thing that we have to do is tell the game that this is going to be a movie. So the tag included inside of the image loader for this is a tag called isMovie with a capital M, lowercase I. We're going to set that to 1B. That lets the game know that this is a movie, and that rather than displaying the entire image, it should only take a small part of that image and play the individual frames left to right, top to bottom. So that does that by default with the isMovie, but now we need to know exactly what size the frames are. So that's something we have to tell the game, otherwise it's not going to get it correct. Let me run this right here. As you can see, it defaults it to 16 by 16 pixels, and that is not the correct resolution for this video, so it just looks like a complete mess. So let's go ahead and run the command through here again, and let's tell it exactly what the size of these frames are going to be. And we can do that using two tags, which are called dimX and dimY. So dimY is dim, capital Y, colon, and now we need the Y dimension of each frame within that image. Since 1WTC already gave me that command, and this full command will be in the video description, I already know what that Y dimension is. That is 59, which means each frame in this video image, shall we call it, has a height of 59 pixels. I'm going to go ahead and put in a comma, and then we can say dimension X, which is going to be 72 pixels. So I'm going to go ahead, and this tells the game that this file that we're looking at, that we're going to play the movie from, has frames that are 59 pixels high and 72 pixels wide. Now if I go ahead and run that command, that looks a lot better, doesn't it? That looks like how it is. However, it's a little bit scrunched. The aspect ratio is a little bit off from the proper one, as we can see here. So there are actually features that were built into the image loader to help us with that as well, and these are some scale values. I'm going to go back in here, going to put in another comma, and then we're going to use two more tags called scaleX and scaleY. Now these are by default set to 1, and what that means is it's going to be the size of one block. So if I say scaleX here and set it to 1, that is going to make the size 16 pixels in length, the size of one block. Same thing with scaleY, defaults to 1. That is going to make it 16 pixels in height. So that's what we have by default, and again, that makes it the size of one block. But what we're going to have to do is change that up a bit. So in the command that 1WTC gave me, the X scale is 2.5, which is going to make it 2.5 blocks wide, and the Y scale is 2. So that's going to make this 2.5 blocks wide by 2 blocks tall. I'm going to go ahead and hit enter, And there you go. Now we have something that's a bit more proper in size. And as you can see, that centers it around the block where we place the image loader. Now, could I make this bigger? I suppose so. Let's go ahead and double this, which is going to make this 5 by 4. That'll make it a lot bigger, but obviously since it's pixelated to begin with, those pixels are going to become a lot more noticeable. So this is the size that I was given. That's probably the proper size that we can display this image at. But yes, you can make it bigger if you want to make it bigger, or of course smaller. We had it the size of one block, but I'm going to go ahead, reset it to what it was originally, and there you go. That is how you can get this something video to play in the mod, and that is how the command works. So knowing this, I went ahead and tried to see whether or not I could recreate this myself with my own file. So I decided to go ahead and put my intro into the game here. And how I did this was by actually using VLC to take a video of my intro playing and export it as a single image for every so many frames. So I got about 24 images for my intro, and this is only about 7 seconds long or so. So it really wasn't a lot of frames, but I went ahead and I think I did 10 frames. I'm not sure what the math works out to be actually, but I went ahead and I got about 24 different images for this video from VLC. I'll put a link to a video on YouTube that explains how to export individual images from a video using VLC. VLC is a free video player. It's extremely useful just to have that in general, but that will explain how I was able to get these images. Let me go outside of Minecraft again, go back into my cache folder, and within there I have this intro folder, or this file I mean, and as you can see this has every single frame that plays with the image loader in game. So this is my entire intro, and I've exported it again as 24 individual pictures. I shrank these pictures down to about 320 by 180 pixels, I think. And then I went ahead and I pasted them together 6 frames across, 4 frames high. So that's what the final file wound up being. And again, I want to tell the game to play this frame, this frame, this frame, this frame 24 times, left to right, top to bottom. And how I was able to do that with the image loader was by running a very similar command to the one that we just ran. I'm going to go ahead and bring the command up in here in my chat. So as you can see, we are calling the name of the file, which I named it to Doe's intro. So we're going to have that in there. isMovie is set to 1 because this is a movie. And then my dimensions were 180 pixels high by 320 pixels long. So I tell the command to set the frames that it's going to be displaying on the image loader to those sizes. And then I'm going to tell the final image size in game to be 3 blocks long and 2 1/4 blocks high. By running that command, there we go, I have my intro. It's going to be playing 1 frame at a time using frames that are 320 pixels long by 180 pixels high, and that is going to be playing them in a full image size that is 3 blocks long by 2 1/4 blocks high. And that is how that command works. And using that, you can actually just about turn anything into a video and put that into Minecraft with the image loader block. Now again, this was just 24 frames, and it plays them on a loop over and over again. This is, I don't know, hundreds and hundreds of frames, and I honestly have no idea how 1WTC put that file together. I'm sure there is some kind of software for getting us all those frames stacked next to each other, left to right, top to bottom, but that is insane. And while I did this by hand using GIMP, I could not imagine doing this by hand, exporting all those frames individually and then putting them into one file. Maddening. So there must be some kind of software out there, but I do not know what it is to do that. But that is the fundamentals of how you can use the image loader to make videos in Minecraft. So doing more than just displaying images or displaying custom images, you can go ahead and display whole videos using this block. That is really, really cool, and that is the basics of how this works. Anyway guys, that is a little bit more about the image loader in Minecraft, and a couple more of the advanced things that you can do with that, including putting in your own custom images and videos even, and explaining how the command works in order to create videos. Again, if you go ahead and download that something video to your cache folder, to your secret in your cache folder, by using the regular default command I showed you earlier in the video, you can go ahead and get that something music video, and running the command that I will put in the video's description, you can indeed play that music video in-game in Minecraft. And of course, if you want to get creative, you can add your own videos into Minecraft. I'm not sure how you would do something as long as a something video, but it proves that it can be done because it exists in-game, and you can see it right now. Anyway guys, I hope you found this video interesting. I hope that really helps you by doing more stuff with the image loader block by adding your own custom images in there, and you can really use that to spruce up your TARDIS or your other builds, or just about anything else in-game in Minecraft. This is one of the coolest features, in my opinion, of the Dalek Mod. And one of the coolest things they added, even though it really doesn't have a lot to do with Doctor Who, it's still really cool to have it. And I want to thank 1WTC and everybody else in the comment section of my original video for informing me about these other things that you can do with the image loader. And if there's anything else that I missed, don't hesitate to let me know in the comments below the video. Alright guys, that's all I had for this video today. And have a great day, stay safe out there, and as always, I will see you all in the next video, so goodbye for now.